I'm here with the miraculous, the awesome, fucking amazing Jimmy Dore, the man himself. A few questions. You were on TYT, and I would imagine that you guys had let's say there was a break in a sense between the division between what you went to and what the other show went to. I would imagine there's a certain amount of stress that went along with that particular process. What was it like being the lone voice in the wilderness saying, I'm not voting for that woman, they cheated my guy, oh, she can go fuck herself with Jill Stein?
It felt good in a sense because I've allowed that freedom on the Young Turks. They don't tell you what to think. You don't have to toe a company line. They gave me a platform to say what I wanted to say. So big props to the Young Turks and Jake Uger for doing that, right? Yeah. Nobody else does that. What it was like was it was difficult. It strained my relationship with certain people on the Young Turks that I had a close relationship with, and I'm still to this day. It's kind of we've drifted, but and that bothers me, right? And so yeah, it wasn't comfortable. It wasn't fun to be not on the same page as in the primary we're all on the same page with Bernie, and so it wasn't that much fun, right? I like being together on the same team, right? So we're kind of back to that now, in a sense, right? Because they're with the Justice Democrats, and I'm going draft Bernie, but it's the same idea. We're back to getting corporatism out of politics, so that's great. Yeah,
I agree. No, I agree, and I think a lot of people watch your show at the very least, regardless of what they think of politics, they look at you as being a different thing, a separate factor. The fact that you're the lone voice in the wilderness, what people say, well, people give a certain amount of credibility. Would you argue that that's a level of integrity versus fear in that election? Like, meaning people were saying, I'm voting for Jill Stein out of integrity, not because I'm terrified of Donald Trump, but because it's almost this thing of the vote for Jill Stein, in a sense, was saying, look, I'm not going to vote for that person just because they're trying to force me to vote for that person.
I was more afraid of the continuing status quo because it only going one way. Yeah. Things are getting a little bit worse every 4 years. So it wasn't going to get a little bit better. In fact, with Hillary Clinton, it had a chance to get way worse because she radicalizes the right, because she moved to the right. So people forget when Democrats move to the right, the Republicans also move to the right. So people are trying to figure out why the Republicans so batshit off the reservation, right? Well, it's because the Democrats became Republicans. Yeah. It's because when we elected a majority Democratic, a liberal government in 2009 that controlled every branch of government and the White House, we still got a corporatist right-wing healthcare plan. Yes. We still didn't get a bailout of Main Street, but we did get a bigger banks out of it, which is crazy. So even when we vote in a liberal, quote-unquote, leftist party, we get right-wing corporatist policies, and we have to stop that, right? And time is now. And if everybody would have voted their conscience, meaning if everybody who agreed with the Green New Deal, voted for the Green New Deal, we would have got probably 15–20% of the vote. We would have totally changed, radicalized, got rid of the Democratic Party as it is today. But as it is today, third parties got minuscule votes, and so they're emboldened to move even farther right. If you haven't noticed, the Democratic Party, not only did they pick Tim Kaine as their vice president, who was to the right of Hillary Clinton, now after the election, they moved even further right by taking corporate money back at the DNC. They're trying to get billionaires to be our leaders in Florida, and they just installed in California, the biggest Democratic organization outside the DNC, the California Democratic Party. They just installed a pharmaceutical lobbyist as their chairman. So if that doesn't tell you voting for the lesser of two evils makes things worse and evil, nothing will. That's a bad strategy. It's what led us here. It's what led the richest country the face of the earth has ever seen to have the biggest income disparity since the Gilded frickin' Age. It's not that we're not wealthy. It's not that we can't have things. It's that the Democratic Party are the people keeping us from it. Shama Sawant told me on my own show that the Democratic Party would rather lose to Donald Trump than let a progressive win. And we are seeing that play out all across the country every day. They still won't embrace Bernie Sanders, who's the most popular politician in the country. He's giving them his platform for free, and they won't take it. So what does that tell you? That tells you we do need a revolution, and voting for Hillary Clinton would have been a bigger mistake. Because we are closer right now to single payer than we would have ever been. We are closer right now to re-regulating Wall Street, even though the Republican Party is now trying to repeal repeal Dodd-Frank. What it's doing, they're the most unpopular Congress ever, right? The Donald Trump, the most unpopular president. So right now it's a gift to the Democrats. Now we could have a progressive takeover, except they're not progressive.
We gotta cut there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have other things to do. Thanks so
Thank you.
much.
I appreciate it. Thank you. No, you're fine. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, how you doing, brother?